How's it going, guys? Strife here, and today we're doing Arah Path 2. This is the start of my Arah dungeon runs, and as you can see, I'm playing Mesmer right now. I haven't really found a good Mesmer that's familiar with all the Arah paths, and there's some key things that Mesmer brings to the group that you want in Arah. So I'm going to be running it for these videos. And I'm gonna probably make some tip videos as well on like my warrior or my guardian on how to run through specific parts for them. So first thing, we're gonna come to this tunnel in path 2, and you can just run through all the trash. I equipped staff instead of my greatsword because it actually has some useful skills when running through trash, and greatsword's not very useful. So we're just gonna run past. You don't want to run through the green cloud. Obviously it's going to cause poison and damage to you. If you do have to go through it, just try and evade maybe real quick. So here, anytime you're running with the Mesmer, Veil is extremely useful, especially in Arah. Arah, unlike other dungeons, it's a little bit more challenging to run through trash, and you need to really equip the right skills to do it. So you also want blink, and then decoy usually is what else I use, because obviously another stealth is good and then blink is good. So we ran through that part. We're at the first boss already. The first boss, you want a reflex skill if you have it. So usually our warrior does wall of reflection, and that was a bad wall. So I'll cast feedback and then time warp here. This boss pretty much only has 2 attacks. It's going to fire normal, like fire arrows, which do damage to you. And then if you're at range, or it's going to kick you sometimes, it's going to cast a big lightning bolt. That one right there, that's a one-shot kill, so you want to make sure to dodge it. It can be reflected by wall of reflection and feedback and any other skills that reflect projectiles, so that's why we use them as well. So as you can see, that was extremely fast. I've actually done it before he even teleported before, if you have a high DPS group. And then the last thing is, of course, there's those red circles on the ground. Just don't stand in them. You can actually destroy the like little urns that are creating the red circle, but there's really no point because you're just wasting DPS. It's pretty easy to not stand in them. Alright, so this next part, you can actually have either a guardian or a warrior run through and activate the waypoint on the other side. You don't need to use these recharge devices and do it the slow way with the golem. So we're just going to wait for our guardian to get through, and there you can see the waypoints up. So I'll probably make a video later on my warrior how to run through that, since you couldn't see it in this video. And then once you get to the waypoint, you just want to dodge immediately, because for some reason you take damage from all the spiders there. So here we're going to go up. Again, you want to get ready. You want your running skills. For this part, you want stability. So on warriors, you want your balanced stance. On guardians, you want stand your ground. And then on Mesmer, you use the mantra, which gives you I think it's 2.5 seconds of stability. Alright, so we're all going to group up here. You went to the corner. We just did lose aggro to get out of combat. So there you can see I pulled one of the mobs, which was a little bit valuable. The other one was shield blocking. Sometimes you'll pull both of them just to get a head start. And then, so there's these Deadeye mobs in Path 2. They put the red target on you and you get a debuff on your bar. You want to dodge roughly 2 seconds after they target you, or else you're going to get one shot. The sentinels that are grouped with them in this part is what we had stability for. Sometimes they'll put a ring around you, which you won't be able to get out of. That's when you want to pop stability. So there you can see you just want stability and basically time dodges, and you'll make it through that part pretty easily. There's only 2 groups to get by. So here I'm actually practicing. That was really slow and didn't really get me anywhere. If you can do it quick enough on Mesmer, you can use the turnaround key, blink and then turn back around. There, my turnaround key didn't work the first time. But I don't really know if it's that fast. If you do it flawlessly, it's probably a bit faster. I think that was really the same spot. I was just trying to test that a bit more to see if it's actually useful when running through stuff. Alright, so we're at the second boss of Path 2 right now. This boss is pretty easy overall. The main mechanic is you're going to kill these inquests that occasionally spawn. They'll drop a tranquilizer gun. And then every so often the boss is going to enrage and grow twice its size. It'll signify it by doing a headbutt move. So you just want to shoot it with a tranquilizer gun and it'll get back. So that's what it did right there. I ran over and there wasn't a tranquilizer gun at that other spot, but you saw it grew big and then went back to normal size. So as far as the normal attacks for this boss, he only has 2 attacks. They're super simple. There's a jump attack, which knocks you down in an AoE. You just want to dodge it. And then the other attack is just his really slow swing that he's doing, so you just want to run back and forth behind him, not too hard. And then just have someone clearing these inquests when they spawn. But as you can see here, I forgot to equip my greatsword, and staff isn't really a high DPS weapon, so it took me a while there. And I couldn't swap back to my sword. Oh, if you're at range, he also throws that boulder like he just did, the one that I dodged. So it's actually easier to just fight him in melee range because it's pretty easy to dodge his attack. You can just go around him. I guess you have to go all the way behind him. He has a pretty big radius on what he hits. And then just finish him off here. So overall, he's not too hard because he really doesn't have that many attacks that you need to watch out for. Make sure to put my greatsword back on. Alright, so we are almost at GL, which is the boss that most people have trouble with, and he's in all 4 paths of Arah. So I do have a melee video of him solo to show you his moveset a bit easier. In this group we're going to try all 5 people meleeing him, which is another reason why I'm Mesmer, because it's a bit harder on Mesmer. And then we'll see how it goes. We might have multiple takes for this because I'm pretty much going to make them all solo him to get a better video, because there's plenty of videos out there showing people ranging him, but I want to show you how quick you can do it with people meleeing. So for this trash group, you saw we just LOS'd on the corner, so they all grouped up. Pretty common technique if you watch my other videos. So I'll talk about it a little bit now while we have some free time. So Arah, it's really not too bad once you learn it actually, but Path 1, 2, and 3 can all be done pretty quickly, like under 25 minutes. Path 4 is really the only hard and long one. Not hard, but long. There's an event in there that people have trouble with because it's a DPS, a high DPS check event. I'll talk about that more in my Path 4 video, but Path 1, 2, and 3 really aren't that bad, so hopefully these videos will help you out with them. I think you can do Path 1 and 3 like 20 minutes, and Path 2 in around 25 minutes. So here we are going to just jump down, have reflection, wall of reflection on your Guardian, feedback on your Mesmer. You're going to run past that first group of turrets, and you're going to get over here to the second group. Looks like we aggro illusionist. I don't have my focus pull up, which would be handy here. So we're just going to kill this guy real quick. Usually you can run on the left and not aggro everything. Whoops, I'm back in the red circle. Too busy talking. So yeah, if you do aggro something, just try and pull it to the wall and kill it real quick. Illusionists are pretty annoying because they're AoE and that beam attack. So we're going to get down to this corner. There weren't any turrets here, so we didn't need wall of reflection or feedback. If there are, you just want to sprint straight to that rock we jumped over and then use it for the turrets on this side. You'll probably see it in my other videos. And then just pull the 2 abominations to this corner, which die really quickly. Alright, so here we are at GL. There's going to be a cutscene, and then he'll slowly rise and we'll get ready to fight him. You can watch my warrior video, which I linked here, to see how to do him and really go in depth about all his moves and like what we do as a party. Alright, so like I said, wanted to get a really good melee run in. This is actually our third try, but real quick I'm going to go through a brief overview of him. So there's 3 phases. Phase 1 in melee range, you're going to dodge when his hand raised there, which spawns the grub. Even if you're ranged, you want to dodge it. In phase 1, when you're in melee, he also does a hand swipe. Almost every time, or not a hand swipe, sorry, a kick like that after he raises his hand and after he screams to spawn locusts. If someone does get hit with the grub like you saw earlier, just have them run away from GL and you can quickly kill it. But all in melee, phase 1 goes by pretty quickly. So he's going to hit here in phase 2. You want to all stack on your guardian. He's going to put up wall of reflection so you can kill the grub. And the grub was over there on my illusion. That's the other thing with Mesmer. You want to shatter your illusions before he spawns grubs. I usually remember to do it when he raises his hand, but it's too late when he transitioned to phase 2. If you are Mesmer, you can see my skills. You want feedback for phase 2. You'll see we're going to pop feedback. You stand in the middle, then I'll time warp, and we'll just burst down phase 2 really quickly and get him into phase 3. So here he is in phase 3. You can look at my solo video for me to explain all his moves a bit better, but you want stability for every class, except maybe warrior because of the way you can dodge out of his dome attack. So there you saw that I was way out of the red circle, but I still got hit by his rapid fire attack. That's one of the very annoying things about that attack, and it's, in my opinion, like I mentioned in my other video, the hardest attack of all 3 phases. And then there, for some reason, I was targeted, even though I've been on the ground forever, by his life leech attack, so I died right when I got up. And apparently he still likes his aggro on me, which I guess is good because it's relieving the pressure off everyone else. So on his rapid fire attack, like he just did, you saw the Guardian used Wall of Reflection. It does a bunch of damage to him. I can use Feedback Bubble as well next time. But overall, in melee range, you need to double dodge the suck move. There I just dodged and used my sword invulnerable. I'm going to go into melee range again. There's the dome attack. So if he does the dome on Mesmer, I have my mantra, which gives me 2 stability chances, like mini buffs. So if he does it when I'm on Mesmer, I can either use that or I can blink out. And then when he raises in the air here, you just want to get out of range because you're going to take damage. Or you can use like your shield on whatever class in Vuln time. So here I dodged out. I had to pop my mantra while I was dodging so I wouldn't get stopped by the wall. And that is it for melee and GL. I didn't get to go through everything, but you can watch the warrior fight that I linked at the start of this fight to get some more in-depth explanations on his moves and what to do. So now we're going to head to the next part. Alright, so we're going to group up here. It's another running event, so you want to equip skills that you're going to use while you're running. When I'm on my warrior, I use Great Sword with Shield Offhand, which you'll see when I do some tip videos on how to run through stuff in Arah. And then Guardian, pretty much just use the usual stuff. Your shouts, retreat, your staff, etc. So here we're going to run through. There's dead eyes again, so you just want to dodge the projectile. Since it was through a wall there, the wall actually stopped it. And then when we run through here, try not to hit those minefields Because they will explode in your party's face and down them. You won't actually get downed if you keep running. This next part's pretty easy. We're just going to go underwater for a bit and appear on the other side. So you can either go straight down the middle, which will put you in combat, and you'll have to go through some like minefields and such. It's not too hard. But if you go around the outer edge like I'll show you, and you actually don't get put in combat, so there, you probably want to use both your dodges there, and you'll be kept out of combat. It's actually faster to go around the edge if you don't get put in combat. And you have a speed buff, which I don't. But as you can see, our Guardian went through the middle. He's beating us right now. I don't have swiftness, so we're going on the outer edge, and we're a bit slower. But this shows you the safer method as well. You're not going to aggro anything. Then from here you're going to follow these torches. You're just going to go up and you can see the torches on the right wall. To get out of this area, there's some sharks up here. You can just swim past them. Use Stunbreaker stability if you get charged. If you do want to kill them, they're all normal mobs, so they actually die really quickly, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so this next part, I actually didn't even know about this second path until recently. When I first started doing this dungeon, and I ran it with pugs really early on, they all ran through this minefield here, and you just like keep running, split up, etc., and run through a bunch of minefields and net turrets, and some people might get down like I just did because I was following too closely. Don't follow too closely behind someone, but as you can see, we're doing a short little run up here to the right side. I guess most people don't even realize this is here, like I didn't at first until my guildmate told me. But you can see we're just running. There's a nice little ramp up here. We're going to go over the minefield, and then we're going to be on a little cliff and just make it to the next waypoint without aggroing anything at all. So I was kind of like, oh my god, I can't believe I never knew this. Like, not an exploit or any weird thing, it's just like an alternate path. So it's super easy, obviously, to run through this part to the next waypoint by just taking this path. And then normally there's going to be these mobs down here that you would have to run through at the end of the mine path to hit the waypoint. It's not too difficult, but this way you don't even get put in combat. We're just going to run around on the right side here. And there's the next checkpoint. And then again, just watch out. Don't run too closely behind people when you're going through mines, because like that, he got hit from the person in front of him's mine. Alright, when we get up here, there's a safe spot on this rock. On, not this one, but this one on the right. My group, it looks like they ran too fast. What you want to do here is there's two groups patrolling. So there's that one on the left and this one on the right. They actually do a loop so you can run by without aggroing them if you wait. My group went too soon and aggroed them, so it's making it difficult for the people behind, like me, because I have to run through this trash now unless I want to wait another like minute for them to path back around. So there I had to actually pop my stability and my blinks. I want to mention real quick, there were those Inquest technicians that had that lightning beam that they put out that it puts endless stun on you, so if you don't have stability, you're not going to be able to get out of it when you're running through. So you absolutely need stability for that part, and then the part after this boss. Alright, so again, this is the fourth boss of this path. What we do is I'm going to range him and drag him up here. What this is going to allow us to do is actually fight him, staying away from the ranged mobs that he spawns. The other benefit is when everyone is in melee range, he actually doesn't do his teleport move, which he teleports to the middle of that arena, and he shoots out these like electric bolts which do a ton of damage to you. You pretty much get 2-shot, I believe. Even 1-shot maybe on Mesmer. But if everyone's meleeing him, he doesn't do that. All he's going to do is shoot his gun and then put like a bomb on the ground, which you dodge out of occasionally. So here the Guardian used Wall of Reflection, and I used Feedback to mitigate his rapid fire pistol attack. What I'm doing here is you actually go up in that corner and it despawns the mobs that the boss spawns. You don't really need to do it, especially in this group. We have so much reflection that you can actually just stand here and the reflection will like reflect back at them. So here I'm going to use my temporal curtain, and you can see it's reflecting the damage back at them. And then I'm also going to use my feedback. And I actually forgot to use Time Warp because I was talking about this boss, so that was kind of a waste, and it might not be up for the last boss now, so that kind of sucks for the speedrun, but get the point. Alright, so this is the last running sequence. We're going to be at the last boss pretty soon. Again, you want your running skills, you want your stability up, so I just need to wait a few seconds to get my mantra up. Trying to aggro the mobs yet. Alright, so here I have my mantra ready. Everyone else says stability, so we're going to run. The first part we're just going to run. It's pretty easy. The only time you want to use stability is when you get stunned by these inquests here. There's only one on this part, so only one person is going to get stunned. So he had to use stability there. So we're going to run up to this boat. You just jump on this rock here. And getting up on this boat, if I could jump, you'll lose aggro, and you'll get a kind of refresh for the second part of this run. And then, yes, I am aware of a glitch to get you outside the map here. I'm not going to show it for this video, but if you're wondering or you want to message me, I do know about it. Alright, so here we're going to run through the next part. The inquest actually, they took a while to aggro us there for some reason. So you're going to double dodge or single dodge that group. If you're Mesmer, you cast Veil there to release all the aggro behind us. And then we'll get to the second group of 2 Deadeye and 1 Inquest. Again, pop stability, use your dodge 2 seconds after you get targeted, and it should be pretty easy overall. So there we made it through fine, just with stability and Veil and dodging. It gets really easy if you have a Thief as well because of their high stealth time. But that is a more challenging trash run. I think a lot of pugs would have trouble with it usually, but you just really have to equip the right skills when running through trash in Arah. So here we are at the last boss. Last boss is super easy as well. If I was on my warrior, I could show you how to do the first part, but basically one of our warriors is going to come up to this machine, get the buff to run in. You can only have one person in at a time at the beginning. Our warrior is going to equip Frenzy, and then right now he's doing like 30k damage attacks because with the buff you do huge damage. And then once you get him to a certain percent health, the rest of your group can run in. Now normally like in a pug and without a high DPS warrior, it's going to take multiple people going in, so like you have a certain time limit. So like say you go in and you take off 25% of his health, then the next person in your group would need to hit the machine buff and then run in, and the person who would be currently in there would be taking or doing 0 damage, kind of like my illusions are doing right now. So but with a high DPS class you can just have one person go in and then the rest of the group follow. And thanks for watching.